On July 26, 1974, a 12-year-old girl chasing a barking dog through the sand dunes of Provincetown, Massachusetts, stumbled upon a sight she would never forget. A badly decomposed body lying face down on a beach towel, just yards from a well-worn path. The remains were of a woman, estimated to be between 25 and 40 years old, with auburn hair in a ponytail secured by a gold-flecked hair tie. Her jeans and a blue bandana were folded under her head like a pillow. Both hands were missing, her teeth had been pulled out, and her skull was crushed. The Lady of the Dunes had no name, and no one who came forward to claim her. From the beginning, the brutality of the crime shocked investigators. Her hands had been removed, likely to prevent identification via fingerprints. The removal of her teeth further complicated efforts to trace her through dental records. The killer had also taken great care to ensure her face was unrecognizable. Despite this, autopsy results indicated the woman had been alive when her head was struck with overwhelming force, possibly with a military-style entrenching tool. Her death had likely occurred around 2 weeks prior to the discovery, in one of the most popular vacation spots in New England. What followed was a decades-long effort to uncover the woman's identity and catch her killer. Investigators combed through thousands of missing persons reports, sent dental charts across the country, and even reconstructed her face multiple times using clay models and digital forensics. But nothing matched. She became known only as the Lady of the Dunes, a haunting symbol of one of Massachusetts' most enduring cold cases. The mystery was so intense that it spawned conspiracy theories, ghost stories, and speculation about connections to the mafia, serial killers, and even Hollywood. One of the more bizarre theories came in 2015, when horror author Joe Hill, son of Stephen King, suggested the Lady of the Dunes may have appeared as an extra in the movie Jaws, filmed in Martha's Vineyard in 1974, just weeks before her body was found. Hill spotted a woman in the background wearing a blue bandana and jeans that matched those found at the scene. While intriguing, the theory was never confirmed, and the identity of the woman in the film remains unknown, just like the Lady of the Dunes herself. Despite the dead ends, the case stayed open, passed down from one generation of detectives to the next. In the 2000s, advances in DNA technology offered a glimmer of hope. A new facial reconstruction was released, more detailed and lifelike. Her remains were exhumed in 2000 and again in 2013 for DNA extraction. Still, there were no matches, until the tide finally turned nearly 50 years later. In October 2022, a break came through forensic genealogy. The FBI announced that the Lady of the Dunes had finally been identified as Ruth Marie Terry, a 37-year-old woman from Tennessee. She had married a man named Guy Rockwell Moldavan in 1974, the same year she was murdered. Moldavan was later linked to the suspicious disappearances of his previous wife and stepdaughter in the 1960s. Investigators declared him the prime suspect in Ruth's death. Unfortunately, he had died in 2002, taking the truth with him to the grave. Though her killer would never face justice, the identification brought long-awaited answers to a mystery that had haunted a town and a country for decades. Ruth Terry had been a daughter, a sister, a wife, someone with a life before she became an anonymous corpse in the dunes. Her family, unaware of her fate for so long, could finally mourn her properly. Yet the full story of what happened on that secluded stretch of beach in 1974 remains only partially known. The Lady of the Dunes was no longer nameless, but the deep shadows surrounding her death still linger. Her story serves as a reminder of how justice can be delayed, but sometimes, thanks to perseverance and science, it's not forever denied. Ruth Terry's fate, once buried by time and sand, finally returned to the surface. But the unanswered question still looms. What else did Guy Moldavan hide? And how many more victims were left in his wake?